Charles Ingram III was an American who served his country. He was a 7-year veteran of the U.S. Navy from 1985 to 1997. He was a chief petty officer who was deployed to the Middle East during both Operation Desert Shield and Operation Desert Storm. He returned to his home in New Jersey. And like a lot of our veterans, he was in need of psychiatric care after dealing with the horrors of our wars. So he had been receiving care from the Atlantic County Community-Based Outpatient Clinic, which is part of the VA's medical care system. There, Mr. Ingram was participating in the VA's newly implemented telemedicine psychiatric platform. Now, the way the telemedicine system is described makes it sound nice. It uses telecommunication and information technologies to provide clinical health care at a distance. It is supposed to be there for people who would otherwise have trouble traveling to an actual physical place with actual physical people there to actually help. But in reality, the telemedicine system is just cheaper for the VA. You don't have to pay actual people to actually deal with our vets' actual problems. So Mr. Ingram was a part of that system at his VA clinic in New Jersey. And that clinic has that telemedicine system, but is not open on weekends. It is only open during business hours, Monday through Friday, which is a hardship for a lot of veterans who have to work. In fact, local police there have confirmed that they have received multiple calls requesting that the facility start opening up on the weekends, even just for a few hours. But instead, the clinic has the telemedicine system. And for Mr. Ingram, that system was failing. He wasn't getting the care he so desperately needed. So a few Saturdays ago, he walked 9 miles from his home, past an American Legion park, past a military veteran memorial, past these things that are supposed to show how much we care about our vets. Mr. Ingram walked all the way to the clinic. And there, on a lawn, he doused himself with gasoline and set himself on fire. He suffered burns on 100% of his body and died 9 hours later. He was 51. Mr. Ingram's suicide was just one of an average of 22 veteran suicides a day, every day in this country. He burned himself up in front of his VA clinic. This is how desperately he needed help and wasn't getting it. And barely anyone even knows about his tragic death because we've all become numb to the plight of our veterans. It's a true American tragedy. That's it. Tonight, let's talk about that.